Welcome to the channel, dear viewers. Today, prepare to embark on a journey into the heart of Assam. In this episode, we shall unravel a tale of darkness and mystery whispered among the elders of the villages and passed down through generations, the chilling legend of the Assam Seven Ghosts. In the heart of Assam's lush green forests, winter cast a serene beauty over the landscape. Assam, known for its natural splendor, attracted travelers from around the world. However, beneath the veneer of beauty lay legends, whispered by the elders of the villages, tales of the seven Assam ghosts. Only the older generation knew the full truth about these spirits, and one might wonder how that knowledge was passed down. The answer lay in the encounters they had with the ghosts, encounters their parents had. Many who had ventured into the forest's dark heart had gone missing, leaving no trace behind. This is the story of 6 college friends: Denial, Ben, Ashley, Priyanka, Karen, and Mary. 3 boys and 3 girls who shared a love for horror stories and had explored haunted places together. They had visited numerous eerie locations before, but this time their destination was the Assam forest, rumored to be home to the 7 Assam ghosts. Out of sheer curiosity, they set off on their adventure, ignoring the warnings of the locals. The day in the forest was enjoyable, with the friends reveling in the natural beauty and meeting friendly locals. However, as night descended, the forest's atmosphere shifted. Despite the warnings, they ventured into the dark woods. They had no idea that this would be their final expedition as a group. The Assam forest was unlike any other place they had visited, their footsteps echoing through the ancient trees as they delved deeper into the heart of the Assam forest. They had explored haunted places before, their fascination with the supernatural pushing them to seek out experiences that set their hearts pounding. But the Assam forest was different, an enigmatic realm that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, an energy that began to ensnare their senses. Unbeknownst to the group, the forest had a way of seeping into the very essence of those who dared to enter its depths. The air was thick with an eerie stillness, and the moonlight filtered through the dense canopy, casting surreal patterns on the forest floor. The trees, ancient sentinels of the forest, seemed to whisper secrets that only the most attuned ears could hear. As they ventured deeper, the group began to feel a growing sense of unease. Shadows danced at the periphery of their vision, and whispers, faint and ghostly, brushed against their ears like the caress of unseen fingers. The forest seemed to come alive around them, as if it were a sentient being, watching and waiting. It was in this surreal and foreboding atmosphere that they fell under the spell of the ghosts. The spirits of the Assam forest, ancient and powerful, sensed their presence. The group's fascination with the supernatural had unwittingly drawn the attention of forces far beyond their comprehension. It was Raktamukhi, one of the 7 legend ghosts. His voice dripped with malevolence, emerged from the shadows. It whispered its sinister offer, a challenge to the very bonds of their friendship. Its words penetrated their minds like a dark incantation, and they found themselves inexplicably compelled to heed its horrifying demand. The group, caught in the grip of an otherworldly enchantment, found themselves unable to resist. The forest's ancient magic had woven its way into their very souls, leaving them vulnerable to the malevolent influence of the ghosts. And in their vulnerability, they made the nightmarish choice that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. The ghost demanded that the group cut Raj into 5 pieces while he was still alive. This ghastly demand was made with a sinister purpose: to subject the group to the most excruciating moral and physical torment. The ghost imposed this cruel choice on the group, compelling them to become perpetrators of an unspeakable act of violence against their own friend. Moreover, they were forced to watch their friend suffer unimaginable pain and torment as the gruesome act unfolded. It was a nightmarish ordeal that left them emotionally scarred and forever haunted by the memory of the unfathomable horror they had been compelled to commit. In essence, the ghost's demand was a manifestation of its sadistic nature, reveling in the suffering and despair of the group. It sought to exploit the bonds of friendship and loyalty among the friends, coercing them into an act of unspeakable brutality that would leave them forever scarred, both physically and psychologically. Desperation gripped the group like an icy vice, and terror clung to them like a suffocating fog. Each of them knew the horrifying choice they had to make, and the weight of that decision bore down upon them like a crushing burden. In the eerie, moonlit darkness of the Assam forest, they retrieved a knife, its blade glinting ominously in the pale moonlight. Their hands trembled as they gripped it, their faces ashen with fear and regret. Raj, their dear friend, stood trembling before them, his eyes wide with a mixture of terror and disbelief. As the first cut was made, a gut-wrenching cry tore through the stillness of the forest. The blade met flesh, and the agonized scream that erupted from Raj's lips reverberated through the trees, carrying with it the essence of their collective torment. It was a scream that seemed to pierce not only the night, but the very fabric of their souls. Each member of the group took their turn, their hearts heavy with the gruesome task they had undertaken. The air was thick with the metallic scent of blood, and the forest seemed to hold its breath, as though it too were a silent witness to this unholy act. Raj, despite the unimaginable pain, remained alive, his eyes filled with a torment that transcended the physical realm. It was as if the ghost's dark power sustained him, refusing to grant him the release of death. His body, once whole and vibrant, was now a grotesque tableau of agony. The act unfolded in a nightmarish tableau of violence and despair. The friends who had shared laughter and camaraderie were now reduced to instruments of their own suffering, their faces etched with a mixture of horror, sorrow, and resignation. The screams of pain and despair echoed through the silent forest, mingling with the sinister laughter of the ghost. It watched with malevolent satisfaction as the friends, bound by a cruel twist of fate, committed an act that would forever haunt their souls. As the group of friends, overwhelmed by desperation and terror, carried out the gruesome act of cutting Raj into 5 pieces as demanded by the evil ghost, the forest bore witness to an unspeakable horror. Raj's screams filled the air, his pain echoing through the silent forest as the first cut was made. The ghost, with a cruel thirst for cruelty, savored every moment of the horrifying sight. It hovered nearby, its shape changing as it readied itself to consume Raj's dismembered parts. As the knife sliced through Raj's flesh, his friends looked on in a twisted mix of horror, disbelief, and helplessness. Their faces twisted with emotions, regret for their terrible decision, disgust at the awful act they were performing, and overwhelming fear. The ghost, now fully revealing its terrifying presence, moved closer to Raj's severed limbs. Its eyes glowed with hunger, fixated on each piece with sinister anticipation. One by one, it devoured Raj's limbs, the gruesome process painfully slow. The friends' reactions were a mix of torment. Some turned away, unable to bear the gruesome scene. Others cried silently, tears of regret and fear flowing down their faces. Each cut, each bite, sent waves of revulsion and dread through their already shattered souls. The forest, enveloped in an eerie silence, seemed to be complicit in the horror, as if it too was held captive by the ghost's dark power. The echoes of Raj's screams and the chilling sounds of the ghost eating his pieces filled the trees, creating a nightmarish soundtrack that would haunt the survivors. In that gruesome moment, the friends confronted their deepest fears and the terrible consequences of their choice. The act they were forced to commit left scars not only on their bodies but on their very souls, a haunting reminder of the malevolent forces lurking in the Assam forest. In the end, Only Mary survived the nightmarish ordeal. But the experience shattered her mentally, leaving her a haunted, broken soul, forever scarred by the loss of her friends and the horrors they had witnessed in the Assam forest. As the first encounter with the ghosts came to its chilling conclusion, the fates of the other four remained shrouded in mystery. What became of Denial, Ben, Ashley, and Priyanka in the wake of the horrifying events in the forest was a story yet to be told, a dark and ominous chapter that begged for answers. The secrets of their fate, the eerie forces that had ensnared them, and the depths of their torment were still concealed in the shadows, waiting to be unveiled. Stay tuned for the bone-chilling revelations that lie ahead, as the enigmatic and malevolent presence of the Assam forest continues to cast its long, haunting shadow over their lives.